Hey everybody, what's going on? We're in Marin County today for the Breakfast Club Rally's Tokyo Calling 2, which is a gathering of classic and vintage Japanese cars. And it's not just a meet, we are going to go for a drive along some of Marin County's best roads. There's an amazing assortment of Japanese cars that have arrived, and I've already run into a couple of friends. We gotta take a walk around and I gotta show you some of these amazing cars.
Wow. So this is a motorcycle engine?
Yeah. See the Kawasaki gas tank?
Oh, wow.
And then,
Like using what's at hand. Oh wow, air scoop. Oh my gosh. So is this considered mid-engine or rear engine? I think it's ahead of the rear axle. or sitting on it for the most part. So I guess it's mid-engine. That is wild.
hearing it go by.
Oh, did you hear it come in?
Well, I just remember from the previous one.
Oh, you've seen it before, yeah, okay.
This is my first time seeing an AZ1 in person, and this car is so unique on multiple levels. It's a tiny little K car, but it's mid-engined. It's got gull-wing doors. This was a Japan-only model, so of course it is right-hand drive. This car was built by Mazda in collaboration with Suzuki, and in the back it's got a tiny 657cc 3-cylinder motor, but it's turbocharged. And now we've also got a Suzuki Cappuccino parked next to it.
I mean, I don't blame them, but
Oh, the skyline, yes. Sweet. I didn't really contemplate after you were right around it. Last time I did ask. You guys been reading
Subaru XT?
Subaru Beyond.
There's my other buddy Andres. Couple of beautiful Nissan Zs. Mitsubishi van.
That smell. I don't know why.
Did you get a JDM smell?
That like kind of interior gas smell.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like
Just like, yeah, hot metal and vintage.
varnishing your gas.
Yeah, I guess my MR2 smells a little like that. Yeah, I saw a couple of GR86s here.
Oh, Polestar.
Got the prime parking spot too.
I know.
The So well spot.
Bust out the Instagram zoom. No worries, man.
It takes some getting used to, though.
Okay, so the four in this one, right?
Eager.
I know you.
Drive the Acura?
Of course.
Monica!
Of course.
Monica!
I got my visitation rights.
Oh yeah, I saw that on their story. I was like, oh yeah.
I like a few weeks ago before I signed up. They were right out
We've got a nice row of Acura NSXs over here. Beautiful cars.
She wanted to do it because she remembers from before, so she's like, oh, let me be clean again. Slightly cupped. They practice this. They're perfect. was on the water. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's right.
This parking lot is actually quite large and full of many of these vintage and classic cars. I don't know if we'll have enough time to walk by every single one of them before we have to head out on the drive. Here is my buddy Brian's 4-door Integra.
I saw it come in, and I've done some work on a white suit. They're not out on the drive.
Okay, so at this point I ran into even more friends and we just started talking and lost track of time. I couldn't really get through the rest of the cars in the parking lot before we had to head out and begin our drive. So off we went. And I didn't really get a ton of footage of the drive. I think most of the time I had my hands full because we were on some very twisty canyon roads, back roads, going through the hills. And it was a route that I was not that familiar with, so I did have to check the maps and try to stay on the right roads. So let me give my final thoughts about this Breakfast Club Rally event. It's called Tokyo Calling 2, which is because this is the second event that they've put on with this classic Japanese car theme. And I think overall it was a great event. Lots of really interesting and incredible cars that came out for this drive. And so just the chance to see some of these rare and classic vintage cars. And it's not just a car show, it's not just a car gathering, it's actually a drive. So it's kind of neat to think that, you know, all of these people are enthusiasts who, you know, aren't just bringing museum showpieces to a meet. They are actually driving these cars. We're taking them out on these roads. We're driving along the coast and the bay and seeing, you know, amazing scenery, enjoying this sort of the rally aspects of this drive. That just all contributes to making it feel like a very special experience. Now, that being said, there were a few things I didn't quite like about this event. I guess it felt like the event was a little too large and therefore a bit impersonal. There was just not a lot of interaction with the actual organizers of the event. There wasn't any drivers meeting or announcements that the drive was going to start. All they did was send an email in advance of the event with the route and the schedule. So in that sense, it was kind of more like a self-guided tour. It was pretty much up to you and your buddies to keep an eye on the clock and say, okay, well, it's time for us to head out. So, you know, given the fact that I had to pay, I think it was $35 to register for this event, I thought maybe I expected a little more of a personal touch. I've certainly hosted group drives of my own with 86 Drive, and whenever I was the organizer or leader of these drives, I would generally hold a driver's meeting. I would make sure that everyone understood where we were headed. I would lead the drive. I would make sure that we all stayed together and no one got lost, and we'd all make it eventually to some final destination that I would pick, that we would typically stop for breakfast or lunch. Now, with this rally, we did end up in the town of Tomales, and they had suggested a restaurant for us to have lunch, but when we got there, the restaurant was already packed with people, and there was just no way that it was going to be able to accommodate everybody that participated in the drive. So it just seemed like a non-starter to think that we would have to wait for maybe an hour or hour and a half for a table there. I think most of us decided to just leave that town once the drive was finished, and a few of us just went to nearby Petaluma, maybe about half an hour away, in order to get lunch. So just wanted to say that's not a big deal. I think we all had a great time and it all worked out fine, but I do feel like perhaps Breakfast Club Rally is a victim of its own success. Maybe the event's gotten a little too large for them to be able to manage effectively a group of that size in order to accommodate them all at, you know, any meeting point other than the initial starting point. There's just no small town up in this area where they plan their drives to that can accommodate a group of that size. And so you end up with this kind of free-for-all situation where everyone kind of has to figure out their own plans about where they're going to go eat or what they're going to do after the drive, which is maybe, you know, their intention, and that's how they chose to run the event. But I thought I would point that out. So if you find yourself signing up for one of these rallies, you know what to expect. Probably the best thing to do is to sign up with a group of friends. That way you can all make plans together and figure out what to do afterwards. That's what we did, and we ended up having a great time. Last of all, I also wanted to give a great shout out to the photographers that participated on this rally. Apparently, Breakfast Club Rally invites a couple of photographers to each of their drives, and they post up somewhere along the way and take these fantastic shots of the participants as they drive past. So ended up with some great shots that they shared on their Instagram with everybody. So something to look forward to there, and a very nice additional perk of participating in the rally. So yeah, check out Breakfast Club Rally. They're on Instagram, they have the website, and you can find out more information from them about the monthly drives that they plan. And hopefully I will see you at a future drive. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, and take care. I'll see you in the next video.